What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, it's been like a few days, damn near almost a week. Now, like I said, my camera broke, so I get a new camera. Just came in yesterday, a new Logitech, so you guys can probably tell a bit of a difference. But I think my lighting is just overall shit in my room, so I probably need to add more light in here to make me more present, make my presence better, my aura better, if you guys know what I mean. But meaning to talk to you guys about the race and other stuff going on. Obviously we had the Spanish GP this week. Cool race, fun race. Obviously big things like, Verstappen here and Russell. Verstappen has like 11 like bad points, like racing points, whatever. I think one more. He may be banned for a race. It's probably gonna happen. It is what it is. It's Max Verstappen. We know how he is. I thought it would be somebody else, aka Lance Stroll, but it's not. It's Max Verstappen, who potentially could get banned, so hopefully that's not the case. Obviously, Oscar Piastri won the race, and he's been, I keep saying it almost every video. Absolutely terrific, absolute stud, absolute top tier race driver, and he's on track to potentially win it this year. Now, obviously, big thing is gonna be like, well, he may get one before Lando Norris, and Lando's he's been at McLaren longer than Oscar Piastri. Oscar is just that guy. It's just that simple. Oscar's just that guy. Shout Nico Hülkenberg for finishing P5. Absolutely, that's big. Shout Nico for that. I think Hadjar again. And I'm starting to change my mind about Isaac Hadjar. I know I was kind of hard on him early on, but the last few races he's getting points. He's performing well, so that's big ups to him. And keep going. Now, let me know. In general, let me know what you guys want to see in terms of like different content, like outside just the reaction videos. We can go back to like more quizzes. Obviously, live streams, we're starting to get back into those. But if you guys want to see anything else, more shorts, more quizzes, stuff like that, let me know. Outside of that, boys and girls, most embarrassing F1 moments of all time. Shout out to Daily Fuel Up. All credit goes to him, big time. Without further ado, let's go and check it out. I've been talking to you guys too much in the intro. Don't forget to like the video, sub as well as always. You guys support is big. On the way to 6K subs, very big. Hopefully we can get that, so please guys, sub and like. Let's get it.
From showing the world you've got zero talent in ridiculous ways.
Not sure what happened there. Car, it was strange. Anyways, I'm okay.
I crash.
I crash.
To pulling off completely brain-dead and absurd decisions, not just by drivers or teams, but even the FIA. These are F1's most embarrassing moments. Just a heads up, it's painful to watch. Think you can handle it till the end? To start off, who better than the legendary Yuji Ide?
Oh,
Thankfully for the other drivers, the Japanese driver only lasted 4 races in F1 with Super Aguri in 2006. But in such a short time, he proved to be a machine for embarrassing moments and dumb mistakes. If you've seen the video I did of him, you already know he's easily one of the worst drivers to ever get behind the wheel of an F1 car. He was so bad that the only reason he didn't last longer was because the FIA took away his super license. Something that has never happened to any other driver in history.
I've always said how bad you have to be for the FIA, not even the team principal, anybody else, but for the FIA itself to intervene and be like, dude, you're sorry as hell. We gotta get rid of you. The FIA has to step in. Not even,
Yep, you heard that right. I don't think I ever came across that before I made that video. And honestly, what else can I say? Ide's brief F1 career was just one embarrassing moment after another. Just to give you an idea, he didn't even know how to speak English, so can you imagine how awkward his interactions must have been with his engineers, mechanics, and the rest of the team? Total disaster, for real. But if I had to pick one embarrassing moment he had, it would definitely be this one.
Gute Runde zu fahren. Oh, dieser Ide kämpft mit dem.
Just a little mistake, right? A quick reverse and it would have been no big deal. Well, not for Ide.
Ide.
Yeah, Ide didn't even know what to do. He was stuck and couldn't move the car. Even his race engineer had to jump in on the radio.
Repeat. To put reverse gear. Try to put reverse gear.
And nope, you're not tripping.
Repeat. Put reverse reverse gear.
Because E-Day was absolutely useless, they even had to bring out the red flag. Have you ever seen anything like this? Just surreal. But just a few moments later, the impossible happened. Honestly, I don't even know what I've just watched. I can't even imagine how embarrassed E-Day must have felt getting out of the car. No wonder they took away his super license so quickly. He totally earned that. Moments like these where a shitty driver proves they can't even drive while a ton of better ones could be in their seat are just downright pathetic. But what about when the FIA mess up? That's when F1 turns into a total cringe fest. And it's happened way more than just once or twice. But the day F1 really turned into an embarrassing and pointless circus was at the 2005 United States GP, which a lot of people call the worst race ever. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. That season, there were two tyre suppliers, Michelin and Bridgestone. Most teams went with Michelin, while only 3 used Bridgestone: Ferrari, Jordan, and Minardi. It's actually wild to think there was more than one tyre supplier back then, right? But I guess that at least made things more interesting, with strategies based on how each tyre did at different tracks. At Indianapolis, some Michelin teams had a few accidents during free practice because of tyre issues. Apparently, the reason the tyres were literally blowing up was because of the banked high-speed turn 13 on the track. This part of the circuit was used by NASCAR and IndyCar, so let's just say it wasn't your typical F1 corner. It was a super fast corner that not only created massive G-forces, but also put a lot of stress on the aerodynamics and tyres. That's when Michelin said they couldn't guarantee their tyres would be safe for the race, since they weren't sure they could handle all the stress from turn 13 for that many laps. After that, and once qualifying was done, Michelin, the FIA, and the teams obviously started negotiating about what to do. They couldn't just leave it like that, right? I mean, it was way too dangerous for the drivers. Michelin suggested changing the corner by adding a chicane to slow the cars down. Kinda makes sense, right? Hours and hours went by as they tried to figure things out, and guess what happened in the end? Well, there was no agreement between everyone, so the GP was going ahead as usual. How could they leave it like that? 100,000 people in the stands, all the drivers lined up on the grid, revving their engines.
And you kind of know it may end up being shitty just because they couldn't find a deal for it. And then we already saw the previous day, cars were spinning out using that brand tire, using the Michelin. Then, because I've always felt like we can't just bring in some Bridgestone overnight. But then I would assume, you know, 2 different tire brands, you have to like get time to like get used to it and all. So, you know, you kind of see why the 05 USGP was pretty shitty. It wasn't great, and you know,
it's ready to kick off the race. What's going to happen with the Michelin tires? Honestly, no one knows. And actually, no one will ever find out.
It seems we have, instead of a clarity of purpose here, a state of confusion. And Coulthard, for one, is wanting to race. McLaren look like they're getting ready for their cars to come in. McLaren, Toyota, there's the pole sitter Jarno Trulli pouring into the pits, and just listen to the crowd.
What's the actual... So, all Michelin teams are boycotting the race. Will the FIA do something?
2 Ferraris on pit straight. Will it be 2 Jordans and 2 Minardi? So it looks like we're going to have a 6-car start. 6 cars outside our window here.
No.
All those people who attended the race just to watch 6 drivers race out of like the 2021 whatever. You know how mad I would be, bro. Now that I'm thinking about it, you know how pissed off I would be. I spent all this money, time, and energy to watch an F1 race. You know, one of like the few in the US. And this is what I see. This is what I get. This is what I get. This crap. Oh, dude.
Way. I think this is the first time I've seen something like this. A race with 6 cars. For real? What a joke. Imagine paying a ton of money to watch this. Easily the worst and most ridiculous race ever.
The Ferrari comes out of that turn 13, which caused the problems. Across the line goes Michael Schumacher.
While the Ferrari drivers didn't even know how to act on the podium, Thiago Monteiro, who got his first and only podium in F1, couldn't care less. After that embarrassing day,
I am mad at you though, right? Hey, get your podium. you're one and only one. I ain't mad at you, but you have to sense the vibe from the place. I ain't mad at you though, bro. Get yours. No wonder you only got one. But get yours.
The FIA and F1's
yours.
image was trashed for a long time for letting such a ridiculous thing happen. And obviously, fans were asking for refunds. F1 made a total fool of itself that day, and Eccleston and the big shots paid the price for it. But the FIA aren't the only ones that paid for making a fool of themselves. You know who else has? Of course, Ferrari.
And he will definitely... Oh no!
No. I'm not even talking about that. I mean the infamous 2002 Austrian GP, where what they did was just plain stupid and unnecessary. It was the 6th race out of 17, and Schumacher had already won 4 and grabbed a 3rd place, leading the championship with 44 points. Juan Pablo Montoya was 2nd with 23. Safe to say, everyone expected the German to dominate again and take his 3rd title in a row. Meanwhile, Barrichello had a rough start to the season. 3 DNFs, 1 race he couldn't even start, and only 1 podium. But when they hit Austria, everything flipped. It was the perfect weekend for Barrichello, and with Schumacher right behind him, Ferrari couldn't have asked for a better race. Or could they?
Are Ferrari just playing with us, saying, okay, let Michael close up, but we're going to let you in anyway? Or are they saying, no, Rubens, you have to move out of the way. It'll all come down to the last corner.
Let Michael pass for the championship. Let Michael pass for the championship.
The last corner, and Barrichello, is he going to win, or is he going to allow Michael Schumacher to take the victory?
That is a disgrace. That is a disgrace.
Oh, I am so disappointed. Michael Schumacher is the race winner in Austria.
What the fuck was happening? The fans, the journalists, and pretty much everyone was left stunned, which was just ridiculous. This really ticked off the crowd, the fans, and the press. I mean, they totally wrecked the race at the last minute. Schumacher was obviously uncomfortable with what just went down, making it one of the most awkward and surreal podiums ever. Of course, Ferrari wasn't going to get away with that. They got slapped with a $1 million fine, but not for the team order, which wasn't punishable back then. Instead, they were fined for messing up the podium ceremony rules. Years later, Barrichello spilled the beans.
Podium ceremony rules? Schumacher didn't feel comfortable. To be honest, you gonna wait till the last second to give up your spot? Bro, take the win. Michael was probably still gonna win 3, 4, 5, 6 more that season. Get your win. Now, I do understand why teams do that, encourage the right position, try to get championships and all. But bro, you have like 10 seconds to go before you cross the finish line. Just get the win. Just get the win. Jeez. Ferrari, man.
On what went down during the last laps
Ferrari,
of the GP.
It was 8 laps of war. It's very rare that I lose my temper, but I was screaming on the radio. I kept going right to the end, saying I would not let him pass. That's when they said something about something much broader. It was not about the contract. I cannot tell you what they said, but it was a form of threat that made me think about rethinking my life, because the great joy for me was driving.
With a 2-year contract he just signed to be the number 2 driver, it's no surprise Barrichello was feeling nervous. But seriously, it was one of the dumbest and most unnecessary decisions ever. Schumacher wrapped up the title with 6 races left and finished 67 points ahead of Barrichello and 94 ahead of Montoya. To make up for it, somehow, that same year at Indianapolis, Schumacher let Barrichello pass at the last second for the win.
Side by side across the line, who's going to win this Grand Prix? It's a mystery. It's Michael Schumacher.
I'm well impressed with that. It's 0.0. Barrichello's been given the win.
No comments on the unnecessary mess Ferrari made that year. They put their drivers through all those super embarrassing and absurd moments. But as I know, you guys love ridiculous screw-ups too. So let's check out some mistakes that had everyone laughing their asses off. Remember Grosjean? The Frenchman totally earned his rep for having some of the craziest and dumbest crashes.
Someone's gone off, quite a few have gone off there. You can see Sergei. And that is Romain Grosjean, and that is a very big crash indeed.
It's safe to say he was one of the most reckless drivers out there, but his dumbest and most embarrassing crash? Definitely the one in Baku in 2018. That GP always brings wild races with all kinds of chaos.
Kins perspective. Whoa, that was so nearly. But he's going to try and dive down. The inside, they have crashed. They've gone into each other. Daniel Ricciardo late braking.
And just when there was supposed to be a break, well...
Oh, someone's crashed over the safety car.
It's the Haas.
Crashing behind the safety car. That's got to be some new move from the Woats. But that wasn't even the worst part.
What happened?
Crash.
I think Ericsson hit us.
That's cap. That's cap.
Seriously? What a dumb move by Ericsson, huh? Let's take a look.
Might have helped stop it there, but oh dear. A bit wrong to say that Ericsson hit him.
Oh, dude,
absolutely Ericsson's fault. And back in the garage, that glove was closer to hitting his engineer than Ericsson was to hitting him. But at least Grosjean isn't the only driver to crash under the safety car. Even the GOAT has pulled off the same embarrassing mistake.
Where you snatch the front brake.
Gate on, the car just didn't turn. I just crashed into the hairpin.
But that wasn't even his most embarrassing screw-up. Remember what happened in Suzuka in 2022?
The man himself.
Not sure what happened there. The car, it was strange. Anyways, I'm okay.
Blaming the car. Only the GOAT can pull that off. But you know what's even more embarrassing and ridiculous than that? The stunt Maldonado pulled during free practice in China back in 2014. Because honestly, I have no clue what was going through his head at that moment.
Okay, real shit. How much when they crash, especially when it's like by themselves, how much is it the car itself compared to the driver effing up? Cause I feel like most of the time it's the driver just messing up. Like I know like at times, car parts can just, can shit the bed, crap the bed, whatever. But man, there are just times where I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Real shit, like, what are you doing? How? Help me. Help me.
But we all know Crash Store was never your average driver. In China, he pulled off a move that was straight out of a Sunday karting session with your buddies. Come on, who gave this guy a steering wheel in the first place? In the next session, he took it to a whole new level.
Good pit entry.
Seriously, he couldn't even get the car to the pits without wrecking it. What was going on with him?
I crashed.
Classic Crash Store radio in action. And his mechanics, they couldn't take it anymore. It looks like making two ridiculous mistakes is something only Maldonado could do. But believe it or not, even some of the best drivers, like Nigel Mansell, have done it too. Much to his regret, many people still remember what he did at the Portuguese GP back in '89. The Brit was having a great race, going from third to leading ahead of Berger and Senna. But when it came time to pit, that's when it all started to go wrong.
Yes, Terry Brooks has put up a new fast start to the race on fresh tyres, and there's confusion now.
What the f*** was that? He almost ran over half of the team. And obviously, he lost so much time that Berger and Senna passed him. But that wasn't all. Driving in reverse in the pit lane was prohibited. And even though the pit crew told him not to, Mansell did it anyway, getting disqualified and shown the black flag. To be honest, it was a pretty ridiculous way to get disqualified. But Mansell, I don't know if he didn't see the black flag or what, but he just kept going like nothing happened. And the worst was yet to come. He was getting closer to Senna, so on lap 48, he tried to pass him in turn 1, and it ended up terribly wrong.
Back, contact! Senna made the spun off into the dirt.
Oh my god. Seriously, what was up with Mansell in that race? Fair to say that the crash was kind of both their faults, but Mansell shouldn't have even been there in the first place. And after all that chaos and unnecessary drama he caused that day, Mansell had to explain himself.
I swear on the Bible I was so involved chasing Ayrton that I didn't see the flag, and I swear that there was no radio communication that I was aware of.
Honestly, I don't know if I buy it. What's your take on it? To be fair, if it was Maldonado, I definitely wouldn't buy it. But for someone like Mansell, it could be true. I don't know. And if you've stuck it out this long watching such embarrassing...
Nigel, I believe you. You're my boy. I believe you. Trust. I believe you. I believe you. Now, you tell me there was no communication. At all. Nobody said nothing to you. Yeah, man. Okay. Anyway, hope you guys did enjoy the video. As always, what's the most embarrassing moment you guys seen F1 in general? Let me know in the comments down below. Stay safe. Stay amazing. See you guys soon. Peace.